Hi, everyone. Welcome to Riot's Lunch and Learn series, the place where we spotlight Riot sponsors and partners. My name is Jen Morgan, and I'm the Virginia program lead for Riot. Just a couple of quick reminders before we get started. This event is being recorded and will be posted to Riot's YouTube channel and uploaded to the meetup page where you registered for this event. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please place them in the chat. We ask that you please place questions in the chat so that they can be read aloud for those watching the presentation at a later time. Finally, please keep yourself muted throughout the event to help mitigate background noise. Today, we have Kaylee and Ryan from Breadware to discuss software for smart products, creating a high-end user experience. Ryan and Kaylee, I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thanks, Jen. Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen and we can get started. There we go, start the slideshow. All right, so yeah, like Jen said, I'm Ryan. I'm the product manager at Breadware. And if you're not familiar with Breadware, we help companies design and launch IoT products. And we've got a host of tools that help speed up that development process, both on the hardware and the software side. Today, we're going to be talking about the software side. And so Breadware's got what we call the RISE software platform. And so that enables companies to quickly get a software solution up and going. They connect their devices to the software platform. And then we've got a pre-built user experience that then you can customize for your application. So today we're going to go through a case study, and then Kaylee is from our software team, and she's going to take you through how we actually implemented this project in the software platform. So let's jump in. Hang on. There we go. And spoiler alert, this is a demo system of ours. So we're not, I just want to let you know that we're not divulging proprietary information on this. So Tankful is a made-up company, but it's based on a true story. There are these industrial water filtration systems out in the market. And so, but this makes it easier for us to give you a lot more details, again, without divulging any proprietary information. So, so the case study today will be about Tankful. Tankful builds water filtration systems for industrial plants. So the idea of these water filtration systems is that they take all the wastewater coming out of the industrial/processing plant. They remove any harmful chemicals from the water before it's then released into the public sewer system. And this is a big deal because if they're caught releasing harmful chemicals, they can face huge fines from the city. And so part of Tankful's service is that if the chemical levels do exceed what the filtration system can handle, then Tankful will come out and they'll bring their tanker truck out and they'll drain the tank, and then they can process the water at their facility where they have a more advanced filtration system. And so let's get into the details of the system here. And I'm not going to go too deep, but so the water drains from, all the drains from the factory go into a valve that directs the water into either your primary tank or your backup tank. And the water's held there so that you can monitor the chemical levels throughout the day and make sure that the filtration system can handle that. So then the controller, the local controller, is monitoring the tank level, making sure it doesn't overflow, as well as the chemical levels. And then at set times throughout the day, if the chemical levels are below the thresholds, then it's going to open the valve, send everything through the filtration system, and start over. So pretty simple system. If there's any issues in tank 1, then it'll automatically switch to tank 2 and turn a light on to tell you that there's an issue. So So that's how it works pre Taintful meeting Breadware. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that Taintful's customers have to send a technician out to the filtration system on a daily basis to look for that red light that turns on if there's any issues, and to check um, the filter life on the filters, see if they need to be replaced. So if there is an issue, then the technician's got to get on the phone, call Taintful, have them send the truck out, and they drain the tank and take care of it. So the system works, but it's pretty user intensive. So there's a lot of room for automation here. And I keep hitting the wrong button. Uh, so Breadware, so how can Breadware help? Well, on the hardware side, we use the slice board to add connectivity to their local controller, and you can see the slice board over here on the right. So this gives their local controller cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity, and then so now all of the information that's on the local controller can now be sent up to the Rise software platform, and then once it's there, we created a white labeled web portal and mobile app for Taintful. So to Taintful's customers, this looks like a custom application that they built. Um, and now that we have all the information in there, both Taintful and their customers can remotely monitor the system and control, which tank is being filled, manually open the valves, things like that. And then they also, both parties receive alerts if there's any issues. And so if those chemical levels are getting too high, um, you know, then Taintful gets notified right away. They don't have to wait for the technician to walk out to the system, get on the phone. A lot of times, Taintful knows before the customer even knows. They get the alerts at the same time, and they can dispatch the truck accordingly. So then the final piece of the puzzle is we instrumented the truck with a slice board as well. So this gives it GPS tracking and cellular connectivity. That way they can track the truck, they can put a geofence around each of the customer sites, and the Rise platform will send a notification when the truck arrives on site. So that way they don't even have to look for it. They just get a text message, hey, the truck's here, we're gonna go pump out the tank. So it's a much cleaner system, and Taintful's customers have been really happy with this. So at this point, I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm going to let Kaylee. Kaylee's going to share her screen and go into how we implemented this in the Rise platform. So, Kaylee, you're on mute.
Thank you, Ryan. All right. Well, today I'm going to take you through our demo system called Taintful. As Ryan explained, Taintful is a wastewater processing system for industrial plants, and you can consider them an example customer of ours. We'll be walking through the end user experience in this demo, so what you see is what a customer of Taintful would see. First, I'll give you an overview of some of the portal's features. Then we'll dive into the device-specific pages. Next, I'll walk you through some of the pages on the left navigation. And I'll finish up by giving you a brief look into our super admin view as well as our mobile app. What you're seeing here is our default theme, which incorporates nearly all of the features of a typical IoT application. We created this theme to provide a production-ready starting point so our clients can quickly deploy their own IoT application. A client can go live with our theme with minimal changes, or we can redesign the client portal to suit their needs. This flexibility and ability to go to market quickly is one of the biggest benefits of the Rise platform. I also want to note that we are a multi-tenant platform, which means that a user can belong to multiple accounts. In this case, the account is Pump Masters, as seen on the top right. Currently, we're looking at the View Devices page, where this account has access to these 3 devices represented by the 3 tiles here. We created this page with different views, such as the map view and the list view. Based on project requirements, we can keep all 3 views or just the ones that suit a client's application. You'll see that a lot of the pages are purposefully designed to have many components because it's easier to hide or remove what you don't need. Now I'll click on the Reno Processing Facility so we can take a deeper look at this device's activity. Now we're at the summary page for the Reno Processing Facility. This page shows the latest information about the device. The overview section has basic information about the device, such as the name and the description, which I'll show you how to customize later. The connectivity section gives you a quick glance at a device's status and signal strength. Recent notifications has alerts triggered by rules created for this device, which I will walk you through later. Last recorded data has the most recent device data for key values relevant to the tank system, such as the water level and water quality readings. Of course, the values here can be customized to be relevant to any client's application. We have a real-time mode button that will enable the page to check for updated values in the background so you can see values change automatically in the browser. The location widget has 2 different map views. We can plot based on the device's GPS, or you can assign a location in the UI if the device doesn't have a GPS value. Next, we'll explore the charts page. Now we're at the charts page for this device. Here we have 2 widgets. The top widget plots historic data over a line graph. In this theme, we allow you to select 2 metrics to plot. So here we have the primary water level and the backup water level. And you can see that the primary water level is slowly increasing. And then when the tank is almost full, it gets drained and is back to 0. Meanwhile, the backup water level is staying at 0 because we are not draining water into that tank. You also don't have to use this type of chart in your project. Some customers have bar charts or multiple charts to suit their application. But the main idea of this page is that we can present historic data to the user in a variety of methods. And just like on the summary page, there is a real-time mode to see the data come in live. The second widget is a table. Again, you can select the metrics and the date range. And you can also export the data to Excel, PDF, and CSV. Now we'll check out the Manage Alerts page. We have a comprehensive alerts engine, and what we've found is that most customers do not need all of these features, but we wanted to showcase what is possible. Here you'll see some alert rules created for this device. Let's open an existing rule. There are a lot of components to these rules, so for today, I will give you a high-level overview of what's going on here. So first, we have the name of the rule, which is water level high, and this rule is enabled, meaning that it will send out when triggered. For testing purposes, we also have a trigger test alert button here to allow you to check if the alert is working as expected. Next, the user specified a metric to trigger the alert and its thresholds. In this example, we are triggering based on the primary water level being greater than 65%. Below, we can configure what happens when a rule is triggered. You can enable notifications. You can also require the alert to be acknowledged by the recipients. If acknowledgement is enabled, you have additional features to notify recipients once it's acknowledged and repeat the alert until it's acknowledged. Below, you can specify the recipients as individuals or as groups. Here, we have an escalation to the Reno team if Nancy doesn't acknowledge after 5 minutes. Finally, you can also specify how the users receive alerts, such as email, SMS, and push notification. If I click into our geofence rule here, you'll see we also have a geofencing tool to trigger alerts based on the device's GPS value. This is a valuable rule for the tanker truck that Ryan mentioned earlier, so we can know when the truck is coming by to pick up a tank to be drained. As you can see, our alerting engine has a lot of capabilities, and as always, we can fine-tune the features to a client's application. Next, we'll explore some of our simpler device pages, so let's go to the service records. The service records page is designed for a user such as a technician to create service records. Here we have one service record already created. You can configure how many fields you want in your service record. Here we have a description, a date field, and a comment field. And we also allow the user to upload files. Next, we'll explore alerts and notifications. This page has a history of all of the alerts generated from the system for this device. If you have acknowledgements enabled for an alert rule, this is where you can acknowledge an alert. Now we'll dig into the configuration page. Up until now, most of the UI has been about displaying data. So we wanted to create a page where the user can modify fields and configurations. The first widget has site information, such as location, comment, and description. Again, our clients are not limited to the fields you see in this demo. They can define the fields relevant to their application. Next, we have a location input widget. This example widget allows you to manually specify the location of a device. This is useful if the device doesn't have GPS. You can drag the marker on the map. And we have also done things like allow the user to specify a street address. Next, we have the site image, where you can upload a thumbnail for this device. This image is used on the View Devices page that you originally saw in the tile view. We also have a neat feature where you can capture the image from the map as well, if you don't have a thumbnail. At the bottom, we have a firmware widget. In this example, the user can specify a firmware version to upgrade the device. This is to showcase our over-the-air update capabilities. I won't get too much into OTA during this demo, since it depends on the device and the firmware, but based on the application requirements, we can enable support for it, and we strongly encourage every client to do so if possible. Now I'll move on to the controls page. This page has examples of control signals that we can send to the device. It's similar to sending configurations to the device, where configurations are typically saved. Controls can be a manual override, like turning something on or off. The top widget has a simple ping button. This isn't typical in an IoT application, but we put it here as an example since it is helpful when trying to debug your IoT device and make sure that it's talking to the system. The next widget contains a few system controls for our tank system. You can choose which tank is receiving water, and you can open either of these tanks to be drained. So far, I have showed you pages that allow you to monitor devices, but there are some pages on the left nav that I will quickly highlight, which are focused on the whole account. First, we'll go to Manage Contacts. This page allows you to manage contacts to be used as recipients for alerts. Contacts are different than users, which I will show you below. Contacts can receive alerts, but do not have login access to the portal. Now, on to Manage Groups. This page allows you to manage groups to be used as recipients for alerts. Groups contain a list of contacts and users. It just makes it a little easier to set up alerts without having to add individuals one by one every time. For example, we can see the Reno team here that we escalated to on the Manage Alerts page. Now, on to Manage Users. This page allows you to manage users that can access this account on the portal. You can also control the level of access the user has. I won't get into the role details right now, but you can see here that most of the users have admin access to this account, except for Joe here, which is a regular user. So he has less access to certain features on this account. Next up is account settings. Account settings is another configuration page. In this case, we are configuring information for the entire account instead of just one device. As always, we can customize this page and its fields. Finally, let's take a look at the subscription page. The subscription page is where the customer can subscribe and provide a credit card for billing. The client portal has the ability for our clients to accept payment if they wish to monetize. This is an optional feature, but we highly recommend it. We integrate with Stripe to manage credit card transactions, which is secure and PCI compliant. The funds are automatically deposited to the client's company bank account. There are a lot of features that I will not get into right now, but some highlights are that you can create subscription plans and tiers based on the number of devices on an account. Users will get an automated message if their subscription is expiring, and you can assign pages to be enabled based on active subscriptions. Before I show you a preview of our mobile app, I also wanted to mention our super admin view. Even though what I'm showing you right now is what an end user or a customer of Tankful would see, I'm actually logged in as a super admin. That means that I actually have access to all of Tankful's accounts, as you see here. And I can jump into the super admin view, which allows me to see all of the accounts, users, and devices connected to Tankful. This is not the kind of access that an end user would have, but this is the kind of access a Tankful company admin would have, and it makes it easy for them to get a quick glance at their customers. Finally, I'd like to give you a preview of our mobile app. Breadware's clients can add a mobile app to their IoT offering, which works together with their client portal. As you may know, screen sharing on a cell phone is kind of an awkward experience, so I have a few screenshots to share with you instead. All right, so this first screenshot here shows what you would see when you first log into the Tankful app. It's very similar to the View Devices page that you see on the client portal. We have the 3 tiles representing the 3 devices, and at a quick glance, you can see the online status of each device, the signal strength, and the battery level. Clicking into one of the devices brings you to this device overview page, which mirrors the summary page that we just saw on the client portal. However, this is a more visual experience, and at a very quick glance, you can see where the water levels are at for the tank, as well as other key values. There is also a charts page, which shows charts for some of the key metrics on the tank, and you can drag this green line to see the specific values at a certain point in time. There's also a controls page, which mimics the controls page that I showed you on the client portal, and an activity page, which mimics the table that you saw on the charts page back on the client portal. Finally, this bell icon brings you to a list of your alerts and notifications, and it is another way to acknowledge the notifications if you have that feature enabled. Finally, one of the key features that our clients find very valuable about the mobile app is the provisioning feature. So on that main My Devices page, there is a plus sign that you can click that brings you to the Add Device page. From here, you could manually enter a device ID or simply scan the QR code on your device. From there, we are able to detect the device ID and simply add it to the account, which is a great user experience for our clients' customers. And that concludes our Tankful demo. Thank you so much for your time. I'll turn it back to Ryan now to share our contact info and to take any questions you may have.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaylee. That was great. Can you stop sharing your screen, Kaylee, so we can. And if you guys have any questions about the software or anything we're presented, you can put it in the chat. Let me share and get to the last screen. Okay. And then if you guys want to reach out to us for more details, please reach out to me. My email is just my name, ryan.odo@breadware.com. Or you can go to our website and hit the contact. We have a Calendly integration as well to be able to schedule a meeting. So we'll give a few minutes in case anyone has.
That was fantastic, Ryan and Kaylee. Thank you so much. Please feel free to put any questions from the audience that anyone may have in the chat box, and I'll be happy to read them out loud.
Okay, and Jen, it looks like we got a question. Can you talk about who is Tankful for? And so from a general standpoint, Tankful would be Breadware's customer, and so then Tankful would be selling the service of the web portal to their end customers, and so they so Tankful is rebranding it as the Tankful web portal, and then their end customers, so the people buying the filtration systems from Tankful are the end users, and they're the ones that are going to be logging into the web portal on a regular basis and checking the status of their individual systems. Tankful as a company would be able to go through each of the accounts, check on the systems, but they would mostly be relying on the alerting service to find out if there's any issues with the system. And so it's really an OEM model.
Ryan, would it be fair to say that in this example, Tankful would probably be the product company, and you all would be the software side of it, instead of them trying to create a software from scratch to show off, how their IoT device is pinging? You all are that intermediary.
Exactly, Chan. That's a perfect example. So like you said, Tankful could build their own solution using something like AWS or Azure and launch it themselves. It would take quite a bit of time and money to do that, and then they'd have to maintain it. So that's why Breadware offers this pre-built solution that then is highly configurable. So appreciate that. It looks like we've got another question. So is the slice board essential for integrating with the Rise software platform, or can other edge devices be connected? And so the answer is yes, any edge device can be connected to the Rise platform. Our standard protocol is MQTT, and so we have a secure MQTT connection that we can help you deploy on any connected device. The slice board just speeds up that process, and so. Can I get information about the molecular structure of the liquid inside the tank? So like I said in the beginning, this is a demo system. We had to, we had to take some liberties on this. So we had to find, the water inside the tank. We're monitoring mercury and pH levels, and those were just standard values that we found for water impurities. And so, because I don't know too much about water filtration systems, so I couldn't really tell you what's causing those impurities in the water, if that's what you're asking. let me, okay. And then how long does it take to get up and running with Rise? And so, and it looks like, oh, we've got the same question. What is the onboarding time? So popular question, perfect. So this can be very quickly, like I talked about, we use MQTT to connect devices. So our software team can work with your team to get your devices connected, or we also have a staff of firmware engineers that can actually write the firmware for you as a professional service. That moves pretty quickly. And then once the data is flowing into the software platform, we use our base theme, which is what you saw in Tankful. We configure your data to be, to be displayed on the user portal, and then doing customization. So all of this can happen in about a week, depending on the amount of customization that needs to be done, from a time period standpoint. So it goes very quickly, and it's a great way to get a demo system up and going that you can start showing your clients or potential investors, things like that. Okay.
Any other questions? Well, thank you all again. Thank you, Ryan and Kaylee. Thank you for everyone who attended. Best way to get in contact with Ryan is via his email address. And thanks again for joining us. As a reminder, Riot hosts these Lunch and Learns weekly on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find a list of our Lunch and Learns on our meetup page where you registered for this event. This event was recorded, and it will be posted to Riot's YouTube channel and the meetup pages where you registered for this event. Thank you all again for joining us. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.
Thanks for having us, Jen.
Yeah, of course. Bye.